Welcome to the Sharp Mind Show, episode 7. This episode is brought to you by InserSale.com. Wear an inspirational t shirt today because what you wear matters. Check out inspirational t shirts at InserSale.com. So, first things first, Angel Reese is suspended by the Chicago Sky for half a game for making comments in the media detrimental to the team, right? And I'm just going to read what she actually said, word for word, quoted from, I'm not settling for the same shit we did this year. We have to get good players. We have to get great players. That's a non-negotiable for me. I'm willing and wanting to play with the best. And however I can help to get the best here, that's what I'm going to do this offseason. So, the number one thing this kind of does is basically saying she's not playing with great players, right? Say her Chicago Sky are 10-31 and second to last place in the league, right? But so she's basically putting down her teammates here, right? And I feel like that's one of the most negative things you could say. Do I think she meant to hurt her teammates? Probably not. But what I really see from this is what's called no self accountability, right? Their team is 10-31, right? She's averaging 14.7 points, 12.6 rebounds, and 3.7 assists, and 1.5 steals per game, right? Now, if you're a superstar player and you're losing, like you've been losing terribly, the number one thing you're going to do is ask for the ball more and get your points up from 14.7 points a game to at least 25 points a game, right? And then another thing you can do is, if everything's running through you, is you can give your teammates more chances at being successful, right, by giving assists, right? So you can run the triangle offense. I don't know what offense they run, but you can run the triangle offense right through you, and then basically average 25. You can still get your rebounds. What's crazy about Angel Reese is there's literally a bet whether she misses her first shot every day on FanDuel, right? And literally videos have gone viral of people celebrating how many days in a row she missed the first shot, right? So that's really what I see here in this statement. It's really like no self-accountability here. Like, you have to, it doesn't matter who your teammates are, you have to raise the level of your teammates, right? Let's say if you're on a bad team, the first place you got to look is yourself. Why are we a bad team? Why don't we have the chemistry that we should have? Because you can, be a superstar on a bad team and have good chemistry and at least be competing every night. You know what I'm saying? And go 500. And that's really what this team probably should have done. It definitely underperformed. And like I say, Angel Reese is so popular. That even probably with a losing record, Chicago Sky is still probably getting, fans in the seats, right? So, that's just my 2 cents on that. She's suspended for half a game. Probably should have been a little more, but obviously if the team's 10-31, they can't really afford not to have her on the court. But let's say, and hopefully she'll get some better teammates next year. But obviously this doesn't take away from any of the good stuff that Angel Reese does. It's just a mistake on her part, and hopefully she takes accountability and gets herself better this offseason so her team could be better. Right? All right. So on to story number 2. Right? So Phillies Karen steals home run ball from kid and father at the game. Phillies Karen steals a home run ball from father and kid at the game. Now, when I first saw this, I'm like, this is the weakest man moment in the history of the Phillies, right? Because you got a lady coming up to you, and the first thing you do is like, what is that? Like, where is your like testosterone, right? Like this is not your first reaction, to somebody coming up to you. You should be stepping in front, protecting your family. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous what this guy did. Number one, I call it the weakest move ever, right? I don't know if her breath was just so bad that he just like the foulness of the breath took his, made it where he couldn't breathe or what, but I really just think this is a very weak move by the father to give the ball back to Karen. Number two, fans have blasted wanted signs all over the internet for this lady, right? Now, whether she was right or wrong, the ball was, right in front of her and she didn't get it, right? She didn't get it in time. The other fan came, he came over. It was still on his row. It's still in his section, but was able to get the ball before she did, and the ball was right in front of her, right? So, it's always been who gets the ball first, as far as I'm aware of in baseball, right? Because there's been plenty of times people have gone after a ball and somebody else get there first. Just because it goes in front of you or in your section doesn't make it your ball, right? But, at the same time, like I say, definitely a weak move by the father here. That's really what I get from it. Not really that the Karen, was being overly aggressive, but it's really that, it's just the weakest man move I've ever seen in my life. But the Phillies organization made it up to the kid, gave him backstage access and many, many accessories. So it ended up working out for the kid and the dad. It's not really going to work out for the Karen, as she's been blasted all over the internet. But that's really the way I see it. Like, if I got a home run ball from my daughter, and someone came up to me and saying, "No, that's my ball," at a game, it's pretty much going to be fuck off, right, for them. And that's just how I feel about that. So let me know what you think about that in the comments below. Like, was this just a weak man move, or was this like, did he do the right thing by just giving the ball back to her and saying, screw it? Like, oh, you can have a ball, it's just a ball. I don't know. But never seen a weaker man moment. It's been a while since I've seen a weak man moment like this, in my opinion. But let me know what you think in the comments below. So this episode is brought to you by the London and the Googly Goo, which is my wife's book. If you're interested in a children's book that has a great moral, that has rhythm and rhyme, and great graphics, then click the link in the description, click the link in the bio, and go check out London and the Googly Goo. It's available on Amazon. It's available in PDF, and I hope that you enjoy it. Right? All right, so we're going to go into the quote of the day. Right? Your future is not built on luck. It's built on your future is not built on luck. It's built on what you do repeatedly daily. Right? So this begs the question, is what habits are you doing every day that are causing you to fail? That are causing you to not be successful, right? And I'm going to go through the list of things that it could be, but, when I think about this quote, I think about, like, what do you believe that's keeping you from doing the repeated things that make you successful, right? Like, why are you procrastinating? Why do you have a lack of discipline? Why are you living beyond your means? Why are you blaming others, refusing to take responsibility? Why do you have negative self-talk? Why do you not believe that you can do it, right? Why are you not willing to be uncomfortable? Right? It kind of goes back to the last story. Like, the guy just didn't want to be uncomfortable and have, someone in his face to get a ball, anyway. Um, why are you eating bad? Why are you having poor sleep, right? Why do you fear failing, right? Those are all habits repeated daily that keep you from being successful, right? And, you know, why do you give up, before you get to success, right? So many people give up before, they even start, right? And let's say, why do you have to have instant gratification for everything, right? So I'll look at myself, right? I do a post and the post doesn't do well, and, you know, for a long time, that made me say, okay, well, that post must have sucked, right? Or I suck, or all the negative self-talk, okay, you're not good. But when you're doing a good job, you're doing things out of the goodness of your heart, when you're doing things, not for the money, for just the love of helping people, you don't need that instant gratification anymore. You don't need, 500,000 likes and 500,000 views and that kind of thing to do the right thing. If you get 10 people on here and you help 10 people every day, that's a great, great day, right? So, and just know those 10 people, tell 10 people, and then it'll grow from there, right? That kind of thing. But what happened? Tell me in the comments below. Shoot me what habits that's causing you to not be the success that you should be in life, right? Let's say mine is like diet, right? Let's say I exercise every day. I don't sleep I sleep good, but I don't sleep very long, right? So I sleep 5 hours, 5.5 hours most nights, right? So I could go through all the ones, so this one's definitely at me too, at myself. It's not like it's a holier thou or whatever. Like, everyone has habits they're doing that cause them to not be successful, right? So let me know down below which ones are messing you up every day, and let's get those fixed, right? The idea is not just to identify what habits are messing you up, but it's to stop doing those habits, right? So that's the idea, right? All right, so on to number 4, right? So Texas bans China and other foreign adversaries from purchasing land in Texas, right? And I'm just going to read exactly what it goes to. So individual entities or organizations tied to China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, or designated by federal intelligence as national security threats are barred from acquiring Texas real estate, right? So, obviously you see this at first and you're like, well, what about people that have visas that, that kind of thing, and it does apply to them. So non-immigrant visa holders, which is students and workers, they can buy primary residence, but they cannot buy additional property, right? So you can't come in and say, I have a house here, and then I have 1,000 acres over here, and 1,000 acres over here, that kind of thing, because that's kind of what's being done, right? China has bought up so much farmland in the United States that basically the Chinese own the United States' actual land, right? They basically just use the system, that's given to them, that they're allowed to use, they've been allowed to use, and they bought up, millions and millions of acres of farmland, right? Which is what kind of the other billionaires have kind of done as well, right? So, keep that in mind. But basically, it's like, is this something that should have already been in place? I think this is a no-brainer, right? Like, not sure why people that are non-citizens were able to buy land in the United States, to begin with, right? Now, I understand that we want companies to come here and provide jobs from other places, right? So, for instance, Hyundai has a plant here, but 450 illegal immigrants were just arrested by ICE at the Hyundai plant, and now they don't have any workers, right? So they have 450 job openings now at the Hyundai plant, but but it's stuff like that, like you want foreign investment into things that provide jobs. You don't want foreign investment into, okay, we just own all the land in the country, right? So, and we definitely don't want the investment from people that we consider enemies, right? So if anything is considered a national security threat, obviously they should be barred from buying and purchasing land, right? I personally think every state should take this stance. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this. Should people that are not friends with the United States be allowed or associated with countries that are not friends of the United States be allowed to purchase land in the United States, right? For instance, one of the biggest things was when the Chinese bought Smithfield's, facilities and for pigs and stuff like that, right? Like their pork producing facilities in Virginia, and it's like, well, they're just trying to feed their people, right? Like, makes sense. But then they can control, the cost of how much food costs for Americans, right? Like, especially if they're like one of the dominant powers they have, in that industry, which Smithfield's obviously is, right? So stuff like that, right? You control the food supply, you control the land, you basically own America, right? If you really start thinking about it. But like I said, let me know what you think in the comments below. This has been the Sharp Mind Show, episode 7. I am a life coach. I'm Nate. I'm the Fit Future MD, and I'm a life coach. Right? So if you're looking to, figure out what habits are messing up your life and get them out of your daily routine, then hit me up for life coaching, right? And I say, right now, I'm doing a year of life coaching for $2,000. And if I don't improve your life over that year with standard metrics to actually say whether it's improved or not, you get the whole $2,000 back if it doesn't work, right? Now, most life coaches will charge $150 an hour, sit with you for 3 or 4 hours, and then that's it, right? Good luck. I'm not like that. I'm going to be with you for a whole year, no matter what. And if we can't get you onto a better life, by certain metrics within that year, then you give me the $2,000 back, right? So, it's a great deal. And, obviously we have split payments on the website. So, if you can only afford $300 a month or $250 a month, whatever it is, you can do those split payments and get that stuff paid. But it's a no hassle guarantee, right? Like, if I don't improve your life, you get your money back. So And you can tell me what improvement you want to see, and we'll make that in the guarantee, right? So sign up for life coaching if you're interested. Make sure you shop at InstaSell.com, pick you up cool inspirational t-shirts, and we'll see you guys in the next one.